Good evening and welcome to Proctor for senior night. Today's Varsity ladies matchup features the 16-1 MSJ Mounties and your 14-4 Proctor lady family. Before we announce the starters, we'd like to recognize a few of MSJ's seniors. First, we'd like to recognize number 11, Megan Yee. And number 44, Sally Hogan. And now for our lady families, we have two lovely ladies that will be playing their final regular season home game, and we would like to recognize them at this moment. The first senior is Megan Elrick. Megan is accompanied by Bonnie and Margaret Elrick, and sisters Clarissa and Becca. And our other seniors is a big round of applause for Mackenzie Hickey. Mackenzie is accompanied by Mom and Dad Lori and Brian Hickey, Grandma Joel, and the Darrell family. On behalf of Proctor, I'd like to recognize and thank you two girls for all you've done and meant the Lady Fan Basketball program, your school, and your community. I'm really missed. Let's give you girls a big round of applause. Okay, now our starting lineups. First are the visiting Mounties. Number 3, Jenna Eaton. Number 11, Megan Eaton. Number 15, Micah Snowdenbach. Number 21, Bethany Farrell. Number 44, Sarah Hogan. The Mounties are coached by Dan Williams, assisted by Bill Russo and Aaron Eaton. Now let's hear from the starting lineup for Proctor Lady Families. Number 24, sophomore Emma Reichert. Number 20, junior captain Olivia Valerio. Number 13, junior captain Abby McCune. Number 14, senior captain Megan Elrick. And number 5, senior Mackenzie Hickey. Your Lady Families are coached by Chris Hughes and assisted by Lisa Hughes and Jacob Tannen. Okay, please ask you to rise in your hats and play the national anthem.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rolled out, the bombs bursting in out, gave proof through the
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Bajani Gymnasium at Proctor High School for the much anticipated rematch between the MSJ Mounties and the Proctor Lady Phantoms, three-time defending state champion Proctor Lady Phantoms. This rematch was is as anticipated as any game of the season. The first time the two teams met over in Rutland at MSJ's gym, Proctor was a little short-handed, hung in through the fourth quarter and ended up losing in single-digit game. This time, Olivia Valerio is back from her broken bone in her hand, and there she is with a block, something that was missing the first time around. And up comes Abby McCarron. Starting for Proctor today, Abby McCarron, Emma Reichert, Olivia Valerio, and Mackenzie Hickey and Megan Elrick. Tonight, of course, is the last game of the regular season, and it is senior night in Proctor. The Proctor alumni and sports boosters recognize the two seniors, Mackenzie Hickey and Megan Elrick. Mackenzie with the travel, trying to take the ball baseline. Starting tonight for the Mounties, Jenna Eaton, number 3, Megan Eaton, Monica Schmelzenbach, Bethany Garrow, and Sally Hogan. Some good defense moving her feet there was Mackenzie Hickey. Proctor moves the ball up, moving left to right. A little bit of ball pressure on Abby McCarron. Hasn't had a lot of trouble with that during this year, or any year for that matter. She's pretty quick. Mackenzie Hickey for 2, and the Lady Phantoms are on the board. MSJ looking a little bit confused as to what's going on out there. Nice dish, an easy 2 for Sally Hogan. Question during any given game with Sally, she has the potential to dominate a game defensively and around the hoop. The question is whether she breaks down physically during the game or gets into foul trouble. You can't really dribble through a zone into a 6'4" defensive anchor like Sally Hogan. If you're going to penetrate the middle, you got to look to dish and pop the ball out. Travel that time on Bethany Garrow. I think she's going to find it a little bit more difficult this time to get inside. The whole rotation for the Proctor Phantoms changed compared to the first time they met. And hitting the boards. Shot by Megan Elrick is off the mark, and the Mounties now in the half-court set, always looking if they can to get Sally Hogan on the inside. Sally's so effective in a lot of ways that don't show up on the score sheet. Not just rebounding and scoring, but she takes up a lot of space inside. Nice drive to the middle, and looked like a bit of a touch foul. I don't know exactly who that's on. That was on Emma Reichert, her first foul. And she drains the free throw. MSJ taking a 5-2 lead early in the game. Proctor trying to move the ball around, seeming to have some difficulty. Turnover by Elrick, and back comes MSJ quickly on the break, drains the intermediate jump shot, and takes an early 7-2 lead. So far we have Jenna Eaton with 3 points. Monica Schmelzenbach with 2 and Sally Hogan with 2, spreading the wealth around on MSJ's side, and Mackenzie Hickey with the only hoop for the Phantoms. Seems to me they've got to look to get the ball to Abby McCarron. Usually they can do that by playing some inside out with Olivia Valerio, who's an excellent passer from the post. And she's also a threat to score. So what I've seemed to see is a bit of clogging up when they try to overload one side of the lane. Emma Reichert getting a little bit in the way of what appears to be the play, and that prevents a clean entry pass. Mackenzie Hickey again getting buried on the inside. Can't do that with the players that MSJ has in their size. Nice pick by Megan Elrick, allowed Abby McKieran to get to her right hand and get that ball up off the glass and close the lead to one possession, 3-point game with 2:55 left in the first quarter. If you remember the first game, Megan Elrick came out with a vengeance and scored, I believe, 11 points in the first half. Much less of an explosion this time around. Proctor resets with Abby McKieran outside. Emma Reichert from the foul line. It's a good shot for her usually. Doesn't fall this time. Back comes MSJ. Now that can't happen. You can't have the 6'4" center beating you down the court. You're supposed to be beating the 6'4" center down the court. Nice swing of the ball that time. See, that's how it starts. You get Olivia in the post. She can make that pass to the opposite elbow. One more pass, and that time there's a hoop. As the MSJ defense didn't quite shift to cover that second pass. Not quite getting the body on Sally Hogan. Of course, that's harder to do than it looks. Another turnover, this time by Emma Reichert, and Proctor comes back and resets its defense. Down by 5 with 1:09 left in the first quarter. So far, it's been a pretty foul-free half. We have 3 referees here calling the game, but apparently they aren't seeing anything, or they're letting them play. And to be perfectly frank, I haven't seen any instances where you would expect a call to be made where there wasn't. Block call that time on number 13, Shannon Elms. Sends Mackenzie Hickey to the line for 2. She drains the first. And the second. Proctor cuts the lead to 3 with 42 seconds left in the first quarter. Good defense that time. Hedging off the screen and helped by Megan Elrick. Off MSJ in the rebounding action, and Proctor with 20 seconds left has a chance to either tie or bring themselves to 1 in the half court. Emma Reichert with a nice offensive rebound that time. Sally Hogan out for a rest, and you can tell the difference with Proctor's ability to get to the rim. On the board and on the drive. Big games, you got to hit those free throws, but that one just rimmed out, and long way to go in this one. And Emma Reichert hits her second one, cutting the lead to 11-9 with 6 seconds left. Nothing. Well, pretty much the first quarter we would hope to see and we would expect to see. Proctor down 11-9. Nobody in particular foul trouble, with MSJ picking up only 2 team fouls, Proctor picking up 1, so the bonus is not close to in play yet. I think we could look forward to, in the second quarter, maybe a pickup in the defense given the foul situation on both sides. Seems to me that Proctor really has to make an effort to attempt to get the ball to Olivia Valerio, get her some shots. She's got excellent mid-range jump shot, can post up, and the offense seems to be a little bit by happenstance at this point, but they're doing enough to hang in there. MSJ, obviously, now with Sally Hogan checking back into the game, along with Shannon Elms, is going to be looking again to try to get the ball in deep to her. Everybody has to recognize, if you're out on the floor for the Phantoms, where Sally is on defense, Sally Hogan, where she is on defense. Because she is quite a roadblock when you try to go to the paint. Three attempted by Megan Elric. Not a smart foul at all by Bethany Garrow. That's her first foul, team's third foul. Megan drains the first and the second. Game's now tied very early in the second quarter, and Megan goes to the line with the opportunity to put the Phantoms up by 1. And she does, drains all 3 of them. Nice job by Megan on this, her senior game night. Proctor and Mackenzie Hickey trying to push the ball up that time and get to the rim. Again, was confronted by the MSJ defender, and ball went off MSJ. Megan Elric taking the ball in from out of bounds. Turnover by Olivia Valerio, bouncing it off her foot. Olivia, approximately 5'10", defending 6'4" Sally Hogan. But they've been playing against each other since 3rd grade, as far as I can tell. Families are family friends and have known each other pretty much since Sally was born. One of the nicest kids you'll ever meet. Megan Elric on the rebound and fouled as she attempts to clear the ball. That foul is on Megan Eaton. Bethany Garrow, her second, team's fourth. Abby McCarron going right, attempting to get to the hole, is rode out of bounds a little bit. Jenna Eaton picks up the foul. And now Proctor is getting within hailing distance of the bonus. Deep pass into Mackenzie Hickey. Abby McCarron off the screen. Abby's much better when she can step into the shot as opposed to get that shot off the dribble, particularly going left. Shot's a little off. And MSJ walks the ball up with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Illegal screen on Sally Hogan. That would be her first foul. And that's the sixth foul on MSJ. The next one will put Proctor shooting 1-and-1 in the bonus. Proctor in this game seems to be very right-handed oriented. They haven't been using the left side of the court very much. Olivia Valerio off with that jump shot. That's a shot well within her range. Olivia fronting Sally, and they're dropping the weak side guard. Usually, in that case, it was Abby McCarron behind her to prevent against the lob. Deep three. Some of the local MSJ faithful believe they had a nice angle from 90 feet away, but there was a ref standing within 10 feet. So I think we'll give the ref the benefit of the doubt on that one. And Proctor comes down. Foul by Mackenzie Hickey. That's her first. Team second. Got to make an entry pass with a bounce pass there. You can't reach over the top and block it away. Mackenzie, an excellent athlete, member of a couple of Proctor's soccer state championship teams. MSJ with a lot of numbers. Proctor not getting back well that time. And MSJ pushes up quickly and extends their lead to 3 with 4:43 left in the second quarter. Sally Hogan makes such a big difference when she's in there on defense, particularly. Proctor has difficulty getting to the hole. Even though whoever Sally is guarding attempts to bring her to the outside, Sally just sags toward the middle and dares them to skip the pass. And she ends up clogging up the middle and causing all kinds of havoc for Lady Phantom players trying to get to the hoop. So Abby McCarron brings the ball up, moving left to right. Proctor down 3. Olivia Valerio out of the game at this point, and Alexis Bride is in the game with Emma Reichert, Megan Elrick, Abby McCarron. Now that's a good shot for Abby. She was able to step right into it. Didn't quite hit it. Alexis Bride in there battling as MSJ attempted to bring the ball down. She got her hands on it and latched onto it like a condor getting on some raw meat there. Wasn't going to take that away from her without a battle. Next possession goes over to Proctor. MSJ moving the ball in the half court. Little exchange up top with an attempt to get Sally Hogan the ball. Proctor defense pretty good. Ooh, that was a dangerous pass. If you had a bit of a eye on that ball, be in a little bit better shape. Great defense, great defensive possession that time for Proctor. Olivia Valerio gets back in the game. Alexis Bride takes a seat, and Proctor's starters are back for what I believe will be the last 3:45 of the first half. Proctor swinging the ball around the outside. McKenzie still has that habit of attempting to drive through everything with her head down. You just can't do that. Deep three by Abby McKieran ties the game with 3:13 left, and here comes MSJ back at it. MSJ runs a double high post with what we call a push, and sends Jenna Eaton to the other side. Now they're going to try to run it on the other way. High pick, one rolls. They clear to the corner. Mackenzie Hickey does not quite clear out, but gets in there battling for the rebound. And that's where that, in the scope of the game, you don't always look at it this way, but that Alexis Bride tying that ball up the last time down allowed Mackenzie Hickey to get the possession when MSJ was in their offensive end, and that's a valuable thing when there's only 2:41 left in the first half. You got the game tied at 15. Defensive battle, both sides having trouble scoring, so every possession means something. And when Alexis Bride could tie up a ball on one end, it ends up putting you in a position to get a possession in a very close game. Next possession will go to MSJ, and here comes Proctor, left to right with Abby McKieran bringing it up. Another good shot for Olivia, didn't fall. This is her third game back from a broken bone in her hand, and to me she looks at like about 85% of what you would expect. Sally Hogan hanging in there despite the defensive pressure, and has 8 points in the first half. Mackenzie Hickey has to keep her head up, cannot dribble through, well, pretty much everybody. She tries to do it, and you can do it against bad competition, but you can't do it against a good team. The help defense is too good, and the man-on-man defense is too good. MSJ swinging the ball. Proctor running the floor on this occasion. Turnover that time. Back comes MSJ very quickly.
Number 5, Proctor, 24.
sub after.
I believe that's Mackenzie Hickey's third foul. She's going to likely be coming out. I see Megan Elrick getting ready to check in with 1 minute and 11 seconds left. You don't want to have a chance, obviously, of Mackenzie picking up a fourth foul early in the half or early in the game. Drains the second one. Puts MSJ up by 4 points, 19-15 with 1:09 left in the first half. Emma Riker attempts to take the ball to the hole and apparently dribbled the ball off Sally Hogan's leg. Interception on the inbounds by MSJ. And steal right back by Abby McKieran. Followed up by Olivia running the floor. That's why you always run the floor even if you get somebody way ahead of you. You never know what's going to happen. That cleanup rebound brings Proctor within 2 points with 35 seconds left in the first half. Deep three, probably ill-advised with 30 seconds left. And here comes Abby McKieran to the hoop, 4-2. Game is tied, 22 seconds left, and back comes MSJ. After no scoring for a couple of minutes, now there's a flurry of scoring. And a block shot by Olivia Valerio, and here comes Proctor back. That's something they were missing in the first time. Nice pass by Olivia. Oh, and looked like kind of a bunny that was missed. Deep three, and that's the half. As you would expect, Proctor and MSJ, 19-19 at the end of the first half. We'll check the scoring and the foul situation. For MSJ, Jenna Eaton has 1 foul and 3 points. Megan Eaton has no fouls and 2 points. Shannon Elms has 2 points and 1 foul. Monica Schmelzenbach has 1 foul and 4 points. And Sally Hogan has 8 points and 1 foul. Bethany Garrow has a couple of fouls. And I think that wraps it up for MSJ. On the Proctor side, Mackenzie Hickey has 6 points and 3 fouls. Abby McKieran has 7 points. Emma Reichert has 1 point. Olivia Valerio 2 points. And Megan Elrick with 3 points. And we have a tie score here at halftime.
Number 14, Hannah Wheeler-Webster. Number 23, Quinn Dynamite Duggan. Number 41, Charlotte the Power Pomeroy. Number 45, Sawyer Escat Perkins. Number 2, Maggie the Mighty McKieran. Number 3, Catherine the Rock Cameron. Number 31, Sydney Baseline Wood. And number 35, Rachel Rojo Cinco Stuber. And Maddie Lightning Lee is not here. She couldn't be here tonight. The girls are coached by Ron Wood and assisted by Cindy McKieran.
Okay, we're back. Getting ready for the start of the second half. Proctor appears to be, yes they are, putting their starting five from the first half out there, their typical starting five. With Emma Reichert, Olivia Valerio, Megan Elric, Mackenzie Hickey, and Abby McKieran. Of course, the score is tied at 19, as you might expect between these two rivals. Met last year in the state championship game. Not a lot of answers for Sally Hogan when she gets that deep in the lane. Mackenzie Hickey attempting to go to the hoop and travels. Ball turned over to MSJ. The 2-point lead in the ball. Way too easy that time. Able to drive the absolute middle of the lane. You can't do that. You gotta, first of all, you gotta help when somebody gets to the middle that way. And second of all, you gotta stay in front of the person you're guarding. That was not the best effort that time. So with 7:27 left early in the third quarter, of course, MSJ has pulled out to a quick 4-point lead. I'm sure that Coach Hughes wants to stem the tide immediately so they don't have to make a big comeback later in the game. Seems that this game has drawn a lot of attention. We have the NSN Sports Network here, radios here, various members of the press up on the stage. And of course, your friendly neighborhood announcer from PEGTV. Abby McKieran bringing the ball up. Forcing that ball right. Mackenzie steps through and scores for two. Mackenzie, if nothing else, will not be deterred. She is very persistent. And she is going to get that ball to her right hand one way or another. Nice interception by Mackenzie. Going to the hoop, gets a bump, hits the driving layup, and one. Cuts that lead down to nothing, and Proctor has the opportunity to go up by one if Mackenzie can hit the free throw with 6:57 left in the third quarter. That 4-point lead didn't last very long. Foul that time was on number 15, Monica Schmelzenbach. And Mackenzie Hickey drains the free throw, giving Proctor a 1-point lead. Another turnover, this time steal by Megan Elric, who drives the length of the court and puts it in for two. Proctor extends its lead this time to 3. And MSJ, Coach Elliott wants to stem the tide and see if turnabout is fair play for the Mounties as Proctor seeks to extend its lead with the next possession. Of course, anytime you get in a situation in a game like this, every possession is so important. And I could see both coaches wringing their hands over a couple of turnovers that happened very early in the third quarter. They call timeouts, try to get their team a little bit settled down. And it resulted in turnovers going the other way. So now Proctor extends to a 3-point lead, and MSJ trying to get its wits about it a little bit. Team's ready to go back at it again. Excellent game, great atmosphere, good crowd. Everybody's known to each other. They play each other so many times during the year, whether it's in Summer League or AAU or during the regular season and in the playoffs. They've met during the regular season and playoffs 6 times in the last 2 years. Once for the state championship, once in the state quarterfinals the year before. Nice closeout that time. Sally Hogan just planted Olivia right on her butt and scored that time. Megan Elrick on the inside. Turns for two. That's what seniors do in big games. Megan Elrick doesn't generally like it down there on the post, but I've long said that if she ever worked on that part of her game, she could be devastating, and she's looked pretty good the last couple of games. That time, not quite moving her feet fast enough. Got tangled up, and Megan Elrick picks up that foul. I believe that's her first foul. Mackenzie Hickey trailing over that screen. Can't let that happen, especially on an inbounds play. Abby McCarron from deep with a three. Proctor extends 31-27. Now, if you're going to have Sally Hogan somewhere, it's where you wanted her before, was 18 feet from the hoop, but you don't want her 18 inches. She'll score every time. Olivia Valerio quickly to the hoop, gets that shot, almost drops it, and is getting to the line. Proctor seems to make some hay when they can push the ball up quickly. This year, Proctor is not particularly a running team, but if they can run in spots, they're going to be. They seem to be pretty successful. Olivia drains the first. That foul was the second on number 13, Shannon Elms. And Olivia drains the second free throw, extending the lead to 4. 33-29 with 4:51 left in the third quarter. That time the help got there quickly, and I think that Sally took a little bit of a knee in the back of the leg, and that's something she's had some trouble with. Off green, says the ref on the baseline. Both Olivia Valerio and Megan Elrick battling for that rebound. The ball goes off of... Proctor has had a lot of trouble getting the ball in. Rebound by Olivia, outlet to Abby McCarron. Uh-oh. Olivia Valerio clutching her left hand, which is the hand that she broke earlier in the season. I don't know if she just got hit on it or this could be unfortunate. Alexis Bride enters the game for the Phantoms. Luckily, the Phantoms had 5 weeks to learn how to play without Olivia. It's difficult when your second leading scorer and leading rebounder is gone for that amount of time, but it gives the younger players an opportunity to learn how to play without you, and clearly they've benefited by that. That foul's on Alexis Bride, apparently her first foul. At the line, number 15, Monica Schmelzenbach misses that first one. In this game, when every point and every possession are so important, oftentimes it comes down to the simplest things that you learn in elementary school. Make your free throws, make your layups, and that can decide a game. She drains the second one. Here comes Proctor with a 3-point lead in the ball with 3:56 left in the third quarter. Abby McKieran outside, reach in by Sally Hogan. Not a smart foul at all. You don't want. I don't think that as good as she is at what she does, I don't think Sally Hogan could steal the ball 1 out of 100 times from Abby McKieran on the outside. That's Sally's second foul, so there is no foul trouble. Finally, Proctor does get a clean inbounds. Mackenzie Hickey from the outside, almost there. A nice follow by Megan Elrick. Puts Proctor up by 5. Again, looking for Sally Hogan. She attempts to roll. Can't dribble through that crowd of 3 people, and here comes Abby McKieran. Guess where Mackenzie Hickey's going? Right to the rim. Battling in there. Seems like the ball went off Elms. And Megan Elrick's taking the ball in for the Mounties. Sally Hogan coming out looking a little bit tired. It's often difficult for the Proctor seems to have a lot of trouble running its inbound plays and getting the ball in. I believe that's probably the 3rd turnover off of inbounds plays that we've seen. And frankly, you don't like to see any of those ever during a game. Inbounds plays are your opportunity under your own hoop to score. They shouldn't be resulting in turnovers. Sometimes suggests that the picks are not being set well, or there's an inadequate amount of movement. Well, it looks like Olivia Valerio is going back into the game. Maybe she just got a stinger on that hand where that bone was broken. We get a block this time. We'll see who the foul's on. I'm guessing it's on number 11, Megan Eaton. But
okay, 11 green on the foul. Green 11.
Yes, that's right. It was on number 11, Megan Eaton. That's her first foul. Each team with 3. And interestingly enough, that time, they attempted to post Abby McKieran, which worked out until she got deep. And then, like they say, you can't teach height. And here comes Olivia across the lane. Nice soft shot, didn't fall. Alexis Bride in there battling. Gets another rebound and goes to the line. We'll see this time if a sophomore is able to keep herself calm enough and drop these. I know that Alexis is an excellent free throw shooter. As you can tell, nothing but net on the first one. Proctor extends its lead to 6 points. Sally Hogan with a quick blow comes back in, replacing Elms. And Alexis Pride sets up for her second free throw. And hits that one. Proctor now extending its lead to 7. Sally just turns and dismisses Emma Reichert like she's not even there. Oh, you know, that was a good thought by Alexis Bride, but Megan wasn't able to seal on that opposite wing. There's going to come a time when you may want to switch Emma Reichert off of Sally Hogan and put Olivia Valerio on her. I know that they don't want to get Olivia in foul trouble because of in general a depth issue with Proctor, but that's Alexis Bride's 3rd foul. Alexis has been somewhat foul prone throughout the year, but miss on the layup, miss on the free throws, and those are the kind of things in close games that are going to kill you. But there's a lot of time left in this one. Monica Schmelzenbach sets up for a second one and drains that one. Nothing but net. And here comes Proctor moving right to left with a 4-point lead in the ball. Ball needs to move with the pass. He can't dribble through two people. But inside out with Abby McKieran. That was a nice shot. Emma Reichert battling in there for the ball. Deep three by Schmelzenbach. You cannot. Megan Elrick has a problem in believing that people are going to blow by her, and even though she looks like she's closing out, she's not close enough when she does that. And we saw Phoebe Parrish go for 28 points in the game earlier in the year. She's got to get closer. If she can't touch that player on the outside, then she's not close enough. Olivia Valerio for three. Bodies all over the floor, and here comes MSJ back quickly. Looked like a walk. Homestanding crowd is irate, and here come the Phantoms. Abby McKieran for deep three. Lexus Bride gets the rebound, and with 2 seconds left is fouled. That one right there looked like it was a failure to know where the Proctor rebounder was. Didn't really get a butt in the gut, as they say. Failed to box out, and that, I think, effectively puts Lexi on the line for two with 2 seconds left. Looked like she rushed that one a little bit. Again, free throws and layups. I don't know that I agree with this substitution with Mackenzie Hickey having 3 fouls already. You don't want her going in and getting another foul with 2 seconds left. Nevertheless, there's a miss, and that's pretty much the end of the third quarter, with Proctor winning that quarter by 1 point and leading the game by 1 point, 37-36 as we enter the fourth quarter. MSJ has 16 fouls. Next one puts Proctor in the bonus. Proctor with 4 and pretty close behind in that regard, but still has a couple of fouls before MSJ gets in the bonus. We'll see if Proctor can take advantage of that going into the fourth quarter. It's not only whether you get into the bonus, but it's whether you can get to the double bonus quick enough, and then you're shooting 2. Sally Hogan having a big night so far. With, let me check the book, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 6. She's got 14 points at the end of 3 quarters. Monica Schmelzenbach making a run in that third quarter with 2, 4, 6, 9 points, giving her 13 for the game. Megan Elrick coming up big for the Proctor Phantoms with 6 points in that quarter. Proctor in its offense with the possession in the fourth quarter. Nice inside-out pass off the mark. Olivia Valerio back in the game. Doesn't seem like the hand is bothering her much, but obviously a worry for the Phantoms if that does come to pass with the playoffs coming up. As a practical matter, although this game is pretty much for bragging rights, Megan Elrick has got to get up on that shooter. She is letting that shot get off way too easy. Little mishandle there. Proctor resets with Abby McKieran at the top of the key. High pick and roll with Reichert. Doesn't use it. Now there's a dive play with Olivia Valerio playing inside out with Abby McKieran. They've been doing that their entire basketball lives. Swings the ball to Mackenzie Hickey, who is going to the hoop. Guess what? Olivia Valerio standing wide open, draining that shot. For her, that shot is wide open. Just got to look. That extends the lead to 3 points with 6:29 left in the fourth quarter. Seems like Sally has Emma. Now see, that time you should have that weak side help coming over. And I think Megan Elrick did a good job attempting to get there, but just wasn't there quick enough. High screen and roll with Olivia Valerio again. Megan Elrick. I don't know if they called it a 3. And Proctor extends to 4 points. Mackenzie Hickey attempting to draw the foul. I think she's getting a little bit Euro, which means you can't. Effectively, what it looked like is she was attempting to draw the charge, and then flopped. And when she flopped, she ended up tripping the MSJ player, who then drained the layup, and is now at the line. Missed the free throw. MSJ gets the rebound, and Megan Elrick picks up a foul on the rebounding action. That prior foul on Mackenzie Hickey was her 4th. Proctor's going to need her. For Megan Elrick, that's her 2nd. Good job by Mackenzie Hickey getting a hand in there that time. Everybody's battling out there. People on the floor. Call the foul on number 13, Shannon Elms. Apparently she had both hands in the back. And the only thing I can say, I couldn't see that from here, but the ref at half court was apparently right in front of him. I can't argue with the call because I couldn't see from here, couldn't see through Mackenzie Hickey. Nice entry pass, and Megan Elrick had been pretty successful with that move earlier in the game. Good play, just didn't fall that time. MSJ now trying to get to the hoop and get Proctor in foul trouble. That fouls on Mackenzie Hickey, who fouls out with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. If I recall, Mackenzie Hickey also fouled out in the middle of the fourth quarter of the game over at MSJ. And in comes Sierra Thornton. Sierra, a good defender, scrappy player, decent rebounder, but doesn't have the offensive capabilities quite yet of Mackenzie Hickey. Number 3, Jenna Eaton, drains the first. Both Proctor and MSJ in the bonus. And here comes the last 5 minutes of the game with a tie score, 42-42. Both teams with fouls, 7 fouls. Abby McKieran with the deep 3. Misses that, and out comes MSJ with the rebound. And here comes Megan Elrick back with the crossover move at half court. No foul called. Emma Reichert with the rebound, the follow. It goes and she'll be going to the line. Foul on number 15, Monica Schmelzenbach, her third foul. Eighth team on MSJ. That ball did not look good coming out of her hands to begin with, but Proctor does take a 2-point lead on the play. And here comes MSJ. Nobody near Jenna Eaton. Somebody doesn't know who they're guarding out there. I unfortunately believe that might be Sierra Thornton, who just came in the game. Ball slapped out of bounds by Megan Eaton. Full timeout by Coach Elliott for the Mounties. With 3:55 left in the fourth quarter, MSJ had just taken a 1-point lead, 45-44. MSJ with 8 team fouls and Proctor with 7, so both are in the 1-and-1 in the bonus. With seems like MSJ doesn't have anybody particularly with foul trouble, although Bethany Garrow has 3, Shannon Elms has 3, and Monica Schmelzenbach has 3. But this late in the game, that's somewhat to be expected. I think with Mackenzie Hickey out of the game, Proctor needs to look to get the ball to Olivia Valerio in the spot where she can make decisions about whether to shoot the ball or pass the ball. She'll play good inside out with Abby McKieran and can hit that 15 to 18 foot jump shot or take the ball to the hoop. I don't understand why they don't make that entry pass. Somehow they don't believe they can. That right there is not a smart play. You can't dribble into 2 players and then turn into the 6'4" Sally Hogan and expect to make much hay. But that's, I think, the inexperience of a younger player and leaving Sally Hogan alone, which again you can't do, the inexperience of a younger player. A couple of unfortunate mistakes that time by Emma Reichert. And MSJ goes up by 3. Olivia Valerio with fadeaway jump shot for 2. Brings Proctor within 1 point with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left. This is the game that everybody expected the first time around, and they're getting it this time. Sally Hogan continues to dominate on the inside. However, for 18 points at this point with 3:05 left in the game. Megan Elrick, can't quite see, but it looks like Megan Elrick has 3, 6, 12 points. Olivia Valerio with 2, 4, 6, 8. And Abby McKieran with 3, 6, 10 points so far to lead the Phantoms. As usual, it's going to come down. It's going to come down to. It's going to come down. And Coach Elliott expends one of his 2 timeouts now I believe Proctor has one. I'm going to check with the score as to timeouts, but I think Proctor has one left and MSJ has one left. And both of those are full timeouts, according to handy dandy score extraordinaire Taylor Trombley. Some might remember Taylor Trombley from her amazing performance in the state softball championship a couple of years ago, pitching for Proctor. Proctor winning that championship 4-3 over in Poultney. MSJ eyeing the hoop, obviously looking to try to get the ball to Sally Hogan. Almost an interception by Abby McCarron. MSJ taking some time off the clock with a 1-point lead. Still not a bad idea. Make them come to you. Clock runs out, which I don't anticipate will, with over 2 minutes left. And off a Proctor defender. I'm not sure if that ball was going to go off of Abby doubles down on Sally Hogan and almost creates a turnover there. 1:58 left. MSJ up by 1. Oh, she walked. That was a travel. That was pretty obvious. I don't know what people were looking at there, but maybe it just looked a lot more awkward than. And a nice cut by Jenna Eaton puts. And a steal by MSJ all the way to the hoop, and they missed the layup. Oh my God! And Megan Elric with the rebound, running the floor. Ball to Olivia Valerio, slapped out of her hands. Gotta look back to her there. And now MSJ has the possession. Ball goes into Sally Hogan, and Proctor has had no answers for Sally Hogan. I believe that might be her 22nd point of the night, and they have had no answers whatsoever for Sally Hogan. You know, I don't think that, to be perfectly frank, I don't think that Abby McCarron dribbling around on the outside is doing any good. That ball has to move side to side, swinging the ball, see if you can get the ball to your shooters. Then you can look for Abby coming off a pick. They have a play that they run, bringing Abby deep from the baseline out for a jump shot. You can look for Olivia Valerio on a pick and roll. But I don't think that this ball game is going to be won off the dribble. Quite a lot of time left, though. I mean, it's a 5-point lead, but 27 seconds in a basketball game is an awful long period of time, and it all depends on whether or not you can hit your free throws and hit your layups. And so far, although MSJ hasn't been perfect on their free throws, every time they've got the ball inside, they've done a good job of finishing there. Proctor's had a very difficult time getting the ball in deep and finishing. It's happened a couple of times, but not nearly as much as I think they would have liked. Apparently there was a foul called on that play. I didn't see that. And Abby McCarron's going to the line for 2. Or maybe not 2. 1-1. I guess it's 1-1. Sally Hogan with the rebound. that was a good foul. Don't want to give him a freebie. Better to put him on the line and make the clock stop. So Olivia's. Oh no! Who the heck did they call the foul on? They called it on Emma Reichert. Her second foul. And MSJ from the line is keeping Proctor in the game, but there are only 18 seconds left. So Proctor's going to have to make some come down and make a quick one. Doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a 3. And another one off the mark. There just may not be enough time left in this game. That shot deflected. 7 seconds left in the game, and it looks like MSJ is going to take this one. But I would not be surprised if you see these two teams meeting again in the tournament. Final score: MSJ 51, Proctor Lady Phantoms 46. That was every bit the game we hoped it would be. And Proctor, in the long run of it here, just did not have any answers for Sally Hogan. That's going to be something, that if they meet again in the tournament, they're going to have to find some answer to deal with her. And my guess is that answer may be in the guise of Olivia Valerio, who has a little bit more experience covering her over the course of both of their careers. Nevertheless, we'll see what Coach Hughes does with that. Running down the scoring, Mackenzie Hickey had 11 points. Abby McKieran 10. Megan Elrick with 12. Olivia Valerio with 8. Lexi Bride with 2. Emma Reichert with 3, and we're waiting on the MSJ scoring. Excellent game, good crowd, good atmosphere. Definitely worth the price of admission. Despite the fact that Proctor has lost both of the regular season games this year. Should these teams meet in the playoffs, I don't think any team is claiming a clear advantage. For MSJ, Jenna Eaton had 12 points. Megan Eaton had 2 points. Shannon Elms had 2 points. Monica Schmelzenbeck had 13. Bethany Garrow 2. And Sally Hogan had 20. Seemed that MSJ had a little bit of trouble from the foul line, but that didn't hinder them in this close game. Proctor had trouble, obviously, getting the ball inside and didn't look particularly comfortable getting the ball to all of its players. Olivia Valerio, in my view, probably needs to see more touches in areas where she can score, so you can diversify that scoring. And Mackenzie Hickey had her typically good scoring game, but fouled out with a number of minutes left in the fourth quarter. Nevertheless, excellent game, excellent crowd. Hope to see you during the playoffs, and I'll be signing off for now.